Hey friends, welcome back to another video. I was gonna say I can hear my own thoughts because my child isn't here, but I can actually hear the humming of my fridge, which is driving me crazy. But I am home alone for like the next hour and a half, and I thought that I would squeeze in a repot and chat. I wasn't supposed to film this today, but here we are. I just wanted to take the opportunity while we had a quiet apartment, and I'm gonna continue the talk that I had last Friday or last Friday. I don't actually know when this is going up, but I was talking about how I am thinking about making a little pivot in my career, and I started talking about like life on social media and being a YouTuber and being like a plant-fluencer, whatever the hell you want to call it. And yeah, I took some questions on Instagram and thought that we could just sit down, repot some of my new plants, some of which I have not shown you. Actually, I don't think I've shown you any of them. Yeah, I was supposed to film like a little vlog in California, and then I got like violently sick, so that didn't end up happening. But I've got quite a few plants to show you, and I want to finally repot them because they are still like in its packaging and it's like a whole thing. But yeah, I will answer some of these questions honestly as I can without stirring up any drama or anything. Of course, we're not getting messy on this channel. We do not do that here. I maybe in a perfect world would love to just name drop, but no, I would not want the same done to me. So that is the code that I'm gonna live by. I'm gonna start by doing, should I do a show and tell? Should I, I'm just gonna show them to you as we're repotting. So since I already have these right next to me, we will just start with these. So two very random plants. They're not all Anthurium. I'm sure some of you are like, thank goodness, if you're burnt out on Anthurium content. But this one is a Dressleri crossed with a red velvet with a red vein dark phoenix. I got this one from my friend Jing. We did a little trade. Truth be told, I don't remember what I traded her with this because I told her to hold on to this for me until I got back from California. I don't remember what I gave her for this, but I'm super excited to have this. Once upon a time, I did want a red vein dark phoenix. Now, I don't really feel like I need it. Like, it's just one of those plants that I can just enjoy online. Like, it's great seeing pictures of them, but I don't think I really need it. But this one's really cool because I love the dress, and it is a really neat plant. Hopefully I have like a more mature photo to show you here of what hers looks like. She says it does grow a little bit wonky. I'm not sure if it's the quality of the seed that she grew it from. I think she grew it from seed. But yeah, gonna give it a try. The other one that I'm gonna repot at the same time is this, why can't I remember the name of this now? So I bought this plant and I gave her a cutting. Mine completely reverted to green, so I just threw it out because I just don't fancy this plant when it's all green. And then her props ended up being just beautiful. So yeah, she gave me a little piece back, which I'm excited about. Obviously, I'm gonna throw in the name because seriously, I can't remember what this plant is called. No, I'm not even gonna try. Okay, let's just get started because I can feel my child getting closer in proximity as we speak. I have drum set next to me, so I've got everything I need in terms of repotting, but I do need a bin. And we are just going to jump right into the first question. I'm not answering these in any specific order. It's just the order that it came in when I opened up my question box. So someone says, do you sell the plants at the same price you buy it for? I treat my plants the same way that I think anybody treats their plants. So if you bought it for a certain price, that's kind of what I'm gonna base it on. But a lot of it is gonna depend on the, I wanna actually reuse this. So I'm gonna put this in my soil bin. Sorry. Yeah, it's gonna, oh, is that a freaking fungus gnat? I just sterilized this. Oh, you. It's like I'd almost rather see a thrip or a spider mite at this point than a gnat. It just drives me crazy. Yeah, it just depends on like the size that it is when I'm selling it, because obviously if I bought, like, let's say I bought like a big plant, let's say this one, I bought it at this size for like $30. I'm not gonna sell like a cutting of it for $30. I'm going to price it appropriately for the size that it's at, using $30 as my base point. I don't feel like me having a platform would make it any different. I don't think anyone holds me to like a different standard just because I'm a YouTuber or anything. And if I'm wrong, please feel free to chime in. I'd be very interested to know. But yeah, I started with that one because it was a pretty straightforward and easy answer. Okay, the next question. How does revenue work on YouTube? For example, like how does ad revenue work versus watch hours, etc.? I'm not the best person to talk to about this. I honestly don't monitor analytics the way that I probably should be. But basically, you don't get paid technically per view. You get paid per 1,000 views. And depending on what category you're in, you know, there's like vlogs and people, there's education, there's like entertainment, like there's different like categories that YouTube will categorize your video, and each sort of niche, each category will have different tiers in terms, not tiers, but you get paid differently based on what category you're in. Some categories get paid more than other ones. Like I think beauty is like one of the top ones. So the people that are paying for ads to be in beauty videos are paying more money than ads that people are paying to be, let's say, in like a children's education video or like a vlog or something. So surprisingly, compared to other categories, the like gardening plant industry does quite well in terms of how much they're paying per 1,000 views. So yeah, if you ever see someone having 1 million views on YouTube, it's not like they're getting paid like X cents per view. I mean, I guess technically if you break it down, but like it's per 1,000 views. And so the more views you get, obviously, the more money you're gonna make. And then in terms of watch hours, it's not, I actually don't know how it counts. Like if someone watches your video for like 5 seconds, you're not gonna get paid the same amount as someone who sat there and watched the entire hour-long video. But watch hours do count because YouTube logs that, and obviously you're gonna be inputting ads every 10, 15 minutes, whatever it might be. Speaking of that, it's kind of weird because I mentioned this before, YouTube implemented this new thing, and it's called, what is it called? Basically, they say like, we're going to put in ads for you and try and essentially get you the most money. And we're gonna put in ads where we feel it's appropriate. And I was like, oh, cool, whatever, like takes the guesswork out for me. But every time I opt to do that, it will put its first ad within 2 minutes of the video, which is like not cool for me. I'm not gonna like have someone sit through 3 ads when they haven't even been watching the video for like a minute and a half. And then after that first like minute and a half or 2 minutes, it'll place an ad literally every like 3 to 4 minutes. So imagine like a 2-hour-long video for me and sitting through an ad every 3 minutes. I'm like, yeah, you'd be making more ad revenue because, you know, there's so many ads, but like who the hell is actually gonna sit through the entire video? Because unless you have premium, if you don't know what YouTube premium is, it's like I pay for premium, you don't see any ads. And yeah, unless you have premium, I'm not sitting through an ad every 3 minutes, no matter how bad I wanna watch a video. So I don't opt to do that, that method, even though it's not making me as much money as it could be. But my standard is like, if there's an ad every 8 to 10 minutes, I find that more acceptable than every 4 minutes. Like that's just crazy to me. Maybe on like a short video, like a 30-minute video, I could put in an ad every 5 minutes, but if a video is gonna be like an hour and a half long, I'm not gonna put an ad that often. So I'm definitely not making as much money as I could be on ads, but I choose to improve the viewing experience for people that watch it versus trying to make as much money per someone that watches it. And then if you also didn't know, if you're watching on mobile, actually I think you can see it on both mobile and desktop, but there's like a little donate button down there where you can just like contribute however much you want. YouTube obviously takes a cut of it, but I've had people that have just donated like a few bucks to, I think the most that someone has donated is like $60 or something, which I never mention because I'm just like, I'm not the type that's gonna be like, yeah, donate. I can't do it. There's another way that you can monetize on YouTube. You can do memberships, and just being fully transparent, YouTube was offering this like incentive. They're still offering it where you get like $1,000 or something just for turning memberships on. But I have always said that my content was gonna be free. I've had people who have asked if I would consider doing Patreon, and I just can't do it. I don't fault or I don't judge anyone that does do memberships or Patreon. It's work, you know, they're working for it. It's not like you're just like paying for nothing, but for me, I just can't do it. I just can't do it, okay? Sorry, I'm making a tag for this really quick. So that's pretty much the gist of making money on YouTube. I'm sure there are like videos that you can watch that will explain it a lot better than me, but yeah, that's how it works. And then someone said, is there legitimate money? And they put legitimate with the emoji. Is there legitimate money in plant influencing? Honest answer, I'm gonna say no. One, the market is so small compared to something like the demographic that watches things like vlogs, like family vlogs or beauty tutorials, things like that. The plant niche is just infinitely smaller. And some of the bigger people on plant YouTube specifically, I feel like they incorporate a lot of like lifestyle into it so that you can bring in a different demographic. And then you can have people that watch both your lifestyle and your plant stuff, or they come just to watch your life stuff and some just for plants. But you open up that market a little bit more. When I decided to start my vlog channel, which I've been neglecting so much, and it's been hard to push that channel, honestly. One, I don't think that I'm very good at doing like lifestyle stuff, nor do I honestly really enjoy it very much. I've found that every time that I've had to do a vlog, it's kind of been forced almost. Well, not forced, but I don't know. I'm like, I really have to rack my brain. Like, what do I want to do? Like what should I do that's even interesting? And it just doesn't come natural to me. And so I don't even know how much longer I'll keep that up. But you know, before I launched that channel, I had thought about just doing lifestyle stuff on this channel and, you know, incorporating things like just normal life stuff and like home decor and things like that. But I just ultimately decided to keep it separate, and yeah, I don't know if I regret that. Do I regret that? I don't know. Not only is the demographic of plant people a lot smaller, which, you know, ultimately kind of limits your reach for people who will actually subscribe and watch, but in terms of like sponsors you can get, I'm just gonna say this, plant companies, plant brands, they don't pay. They really don't. I don't know if it's different for other people because I'm not as big, but I will say that a lot of people who are in the plant space, that I'm gonna put this one in no drainage. That's just what we're gonna do. Yeah, it's a lot of the brands that are in the plant space, lighting companies, people who sell plants, just anything plant related, fertilizers. They just want to do product exchange, which I think is fine when you're just starting, because like obviously it looks really good to have sponsors and it shows that people are really interested in your channel and your brand essentially. But once you're doing it full time and you're relying on it for income, you just can only do trades for so long. And it's like to the point where like, how many lights do I actually need? And how much fertilizer do I actually need, you know? And so after a while, I really just started saying no to a lot of these brands that wanted to do basically just product exchange for a video. For me, it wasn't worth the time that I was putting in. And if I am gonna do a sponsored video now, if they're not paying me, it's because it's product that I actually want and need and would rather not pay for myself. So yeah, that is just the honest truth. There's not a lot of money in the plant niche specifically, which is why if you see a plant influencer doing a sponsorship that is not plant related, if it's whatever, some kind of home decor brand or something like Skillshare or Audible or whatever it is, like, don't be so harsh. I like see some of the rudest comments sometimes on some of like the nicest like plant influencer people that I know, and it's like, oh, another ad, like, oh, you're a sellout. And it's just like, dude, this is their job. This is how they make money. You can say that like, oh, social media isn't a job as much as you want, but at the end of the day, when you're trying to relax, you're trying to decompress, what are you watching? You're watching shows and movies on Netflix, or you're watching things like TikTok. For me, decompressing at the end of the day and being able to watch just random creators on TikTok doing just anything, to me, it is a valuable thing to society, because I need that, like, I need the laughs sometimes. I need that like unseriousness. Or even if it's just like a real, like someone that does like lifestyle vlogs, it just, for me, that's the kind of content that I'm consuming and that like relaxes me and eases my mind, whether it's because it's relatable or it's like actually entertaining. I find a lot of value in social media content creators, and I feel like from an outsider's perspective, it would look like I'm being very biased, obviously, because I'm a content creator myself. But I don't watch a ton of TV. I really don't. I don't watch a lot of like actual TV shows, but I do watch a lot of movies, and I watch a lot of TikTok and like Facebook Reels, like just from random people. And I find those to be just so enjoyable, and I really look forward to just my mindless scrolling at the end of the night. I know that sounds awful. I know I should probably pick up a book and read, which I just finished my last book, by the way. I don't know, for me, it's like after a long day of being productive and working and doing whatever the hell I was doing, sometimes I just want to watch a video of a girl eating a seafood boil while talking about, you know, her nightmare ex-boyfriend. Sometimes that's just all I want. And I don't know why I'm talking about this, but, and oh yeah, just be nice, okay? Not all of us have found a place in society that you find to be like acceptable, whether it's like working in the healthcare field or, I don't know, working a corporate job. It's just not for everyone. And yeah, I don't judge anyone in the plant space that is taking sponsorships outside of plant products, because I know how hard it is. And yeah, there's not a lot of money to be made when you're a plant influencer, and not many non-plant brands want to sponsor you. I was honestly surprised when a company like Skillshare wanted to work with me. You know, yeah, they work with a lot of people, but why me? I don't have a massive platform. My views are not crazy impressive, but they paid, and they paid really well, and they valued the the videos that I was putting out for them. And so I really enjoyed that service. And those are the sponsorships that I really like, but it does not come very often. And that type of money being given to someone like me, it's rare. It's very rare. So yeah, next time you see a plant influencer that's, you know, promoting something that's not plant related, if you have thoughts on it, just fast forward. It's so easy to just fast forward. But to answer the question, I don't truly believe that there is legitimate money to be made in specifically the plant industry if you are not taking sponsorships and things like that outside of like the plant space. So that's what I mean. Okay, I just finished those two really fast. This is what they look like. Nothing special. I put this one in, I mean, I probably could have gone in a pot a little bit bigger. This seems like a plant that would root heckin' fast, but I'm just gonna, you know, go nice and easy. I also don't want it to like size up way too fast. Guys, these are very exciting and I can't believe just showing this to you now, but if you're on Instagram, you probably have seen her photos floating around in the Instagram world. My sweet friend Katie sent me two of her babies. First one is this variegated Maharani. Her plants are absolutely beautiful. I hope one day that I can own one of her variegated Sanderiana nobilises or Nobilis Sanderianas. Always mix it up. It was sent to me with this little leaf, and this one just fully hardened a few days ago. This little thing is so neat, and it's so great to start alocasia corms. I don't know if this is her creation or if this is someone else, but I love it. And I was never really a fan of the wicking system, but this has worked really well with stratum. So this is the first one. I'm gonna be repotting both of these into pond. The second one is this beautiful variegated alocasia black velvet. And I'm not super into the pink plants, but I've said this before that this is one of those plants that I can absolutely get on board with the pink. I was hoping by the time this video, like by the time I was ready to film this video, that this one would be fully unfurled. Let's just take a peek. Look at her. She's so cute. And so yeah, I'm super excited to have these because I've really wanted another variegated alocasia for a while. The only one that I own right now, are you like super high? The only one that I own right now is the Friedeck. And there's nothing wrong with the Friedeck, but you know, it's nice to have a little bit of change. So we're gonna put these in no drainage again, in pond. I don't wanna go too crazy with upsizing the pot. So I'm gonna, and I do wanna reuse this stratum because I think you guys might be able to see, and it actually might be dead. Oh, no, I don't think, yeah. Oh yeah, it's hollow. Dang it, she really wanted this corm to grow for me, but it is hollow now. I still would like to save this stratum though, because I don't have any more stratum and I just try and save what I can. Moving on to the next question. Are there people / influencers you know that are fake online? Wouldn't you like to know? Just kidding. I'm just kidding. To be honest, I haven't really met that many, it's really dark. I honestly have not met that many like influencers in real life. I obviously know Jing and Alice who are on YouTube, but who else have I met in person that are also doing social media? Daryl, I met Daryl Houseplant Journal. He is so mean. I'm just kidding. He's not. He's super nice, super sweet, great stage presence, super knowledgeable. Love him. Yeah, I really have not met too many social media influencers, and I feel like I can't answer this question because even though I would say I have like a good relationship with a few of them, our relationship has been purely online, and I'm not trying to speculate that they're being fake with me online, but I personally feel like you don't really know a person. You don't really know a person unless you've met them in person and have had like multiple interactions with them, because it's really easy to be fake. Like you can fake it pretty easily. It's not hard. It's not hard to pretend like you're a nice person. But I say that I have a pretty good read of people, and in general, I'm not gonna befriend someone online if I feel like they don't have a good personality, or they're not a good person, or they're just like a hateful person. I'm also not going to befriend a person just because they have a social media following. I'm not looking to like be in a clique of like plant-fluencers, not because there's anything wrong with them, but because in general, I typically keep my, oh, this one has rot. Oh no. I just tend to keep my circle small anyway, because I find that it's difficult in your adult years to be a good friend and to actually, you know, maintain a friendship and give them the time and space and energy that it takes to maintain a friendship. But I'm not gonna be friends with someone just because they're, you know, they have a big following or whatever. That's just not my style, nor do I expect other people to follow me just because I have a social media following. There are quite a few like plant influencers that I follow that don't follow me back, and I take no offense to it. I don't care. I follow them because I want to follow them, and I genuinely want to see what they're posting. I like their plants, I like their personality, but just because they don't follow me doesn't mean that I wouldn't want to follow them. I don't know. That's just my mentality when it comes to befriending people online. And so I can't really answer that. I'll say that from what I know, like Alice, the Alice that you see in front of the camera is pretty much the Alice that you're gonna get in real life. We have more honest talks with each other, and you know, sometimes we indulge in the tea, but she is just, she's pretty much exactly how she is in front of a camera, which, she's super chill. So sorry, I can't answer that. I'm not like I'm not in the know. Generally, I keep the plant community at an arm's length. Is that right? At an arm's length at all times, because it's not that I'm skeptical of people or I have no faith in people, but what am I trying to say here? I guess I just know how people can be, and I know how toxic a community can get really fast, and I know how tempting it is to indulge yourself in drama, me being one of them. Anytime someone brings up tea like that's happening in the community with me, I'm like, what's happening? Tell me. But I don't particularly want to be the thing that people are talking about, and so my mentality is if I keep my circle small, it's kind of hard to get into any drama or like, I don't know. And here's the other thing is, over the years since I've been in like, I guess, active in my local plant community, like I've befriended a few people, and I have had not great outcomes of those friendships, and some of them have ended very badly, and some we just kind of faded away and stopped talking, and I find that kind of sad. But I don't know. I just keep my circle small. It's just how I live my life. I feel like I've kind of always been that way. Maybe not always, but I didn't have like the best high school experience, and if you went to high school with me, you'll know that I was just drama. Drama, 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 so much drama. I definitely take accountability for a lot of it. I think that I had the tendency to get messy. I was very emotionally immature, and I think had I been a little bit self-aware, I would have had a lot of different experiences, and maybe I would still be friends with people from high school. But yeah, that's just what happened with me. And I think I've kind of taken that into adulthood, is to like really just not get too close with anyone, which is not a great mindset to have, because I do think friendships can be very beautiful, and I've opened myself a lot in the last few years to allowing people to come into my life organically. And I'm just careful, because I just don't think that it's healthy to just accept friendships left and right. I prefer quality over quantity, and I feel like in general I already am not a great friend in terms of like the time it takes to invest in a friendship and greeting people for birthdays and stuff. Like, I just feel like I'm horrible, and that's just where we are. But anyway, yeah, I keep the plant community at an arm's length, because I just don't want to get too involved in it. And I don't mean like interactions like on YouTube, like through comments or through DMs. That's not what I mean. It's not like, oh, if you DM me, I'm not gonna like message you back because I don't want to get close. I mean, like, if you go into like a certain group, like Facebook group or whatever, it's like everyone kind of knows everyone and they're very active on there, and there's nothing wrong with that. But I also find that when things blow up and there is drama, it's like these are the same faces and names that you see being dragged into this conversation and that conversation. And basically, I just don't want to be in that conversation at all. So I am very quiet in plant or like Facebook groups. I don't really contribute a lot. I really am just kind of a lurker. And that is how I will probably stay for the rest of the time that I'm in this hobby. Another one is, have you ever questioned whether the plants you've obtained were collected ethically? Of course. I am vehemently against mass poaching or just poaching in general. This is a really, really sticky topic. It is. Let me grab some more plants really quick. Okay, I'm gonna do 2 of these bigger ones. This is a plant from my friend Matt. This is a dress Carla Ralph Linum. Very, very cute. I will throw in Mom here. It is a clone, and I can't remember the origins of this plant. I don't know if this is his hybrid. I'm sorry, Matt. I can't remember. I have really bad memory, but it got really, really beat up while it was traveling in California and then coming home to me. So I need to get it out of there. And then my sweet friend Owen sent me one of his Winlingeri babies. Currently, the only one that I have from Owen are his little tiny Anton Valley Winlingeris that were grown from seed, but this is a clone of his Rio La Gloria crossed with an unknown. I don't know, I'm just happy to have an Owen Wenley in my collection. So I'm gonna get these out of here, and let's finally rescue you guys. I was like, dude, I am 1 week away from completely losing these plants. There was 1 week where I was just so busy trying to get caught up with everything, and I was really hyper focused on like getting the house super clean, because I don't know, just in the summer, so the dust and Pudge is shedding, my postpartum hair, I'm like, it is crazy in this apartment, and I was just manic about cleaning. And so for like a solid 2 weeks, I did not pay my plants any attention, and I let so many of my new plants dry out. I truly am surprised that none of them like full on died. Oh, anyway, what was the question? Oh yeah, it's a sticky, very, very sticky topic. Like, I have read at this point hundreds of comments and threads about poaching and people's standpoints on it, and there's always going to be people that are like, every plant that we all have, they've been collected and poached somehow, and there's people that are like, well, it's already been poached, we might as well not let them die, like let's try and recultivate it and donate it to conservation efforts and blah blah blah. But I don't know, poaching is wrong. Obviously, poaching is wrong. No one should be going into a freaking rainforest and just plucking plants out of the ground and selling in bulk. That I am not down with. There have been several instances, oh my God, this is so moldy. There have been several instances, oh, is that a paper towel? Oh, it is. Okay, covered in mold. That's my fault. It's been in this cup for so long. Oh my, this is a long stem. Yeah, there have been certain like incidents that have been known publicly, like poached Carlas, poached Kunas, and of course, I don't like, no matter how nice a plant is, no matter if someone wants to send it to me, whatever, like I'm not going to support that. I'm not going to support the people who paid these poachers to get it to them. I'm not going to give poachers more of a reason to do it again because, it sold out super fast. And then I just saw so many people like trying to justify it. I just want nothing to do with essentially people who don't give a crap about depleting plants from the rainforest. It's just not cool. It's not freaking worth it. Like, us having these plants in our houses are absolutely not worth it. And there's always going to be the justifications out there. Always. There's so many different kinds of ways that people are justifying it. Oh, it was going to be cut down anyway. They're chopping down rainforests, and like this plant would have been extinct if we didn't say. Whatever it is, I believe in ethical collecting. I don't feel like for any reason someone should be plucking an entire plant with its root system out of the ground. If you are going to be ethically collecting, I think taking a top cutting is fine. And I feel like if you are ethically collecting, you should be planting it back once you have propagated it, done whatever you're gonna do for tissue culturing, whatever. I don't know, and this is really stupid, but I don't know enough about the poaching issue. I don't know the main people that are utilizing poachers in terms of like the sellers and the breeders. Again, I keep the community at an arm's length. I couldn't tell you who the big breeders are right now. I couldn't tell you which hybrids people are after because it was made by a specific person. I have no freaking clue. Like, I am just completely in the dark. But yeah, if I catch wind of someone saying like these plants from this company is poached or whatever, obviously I'm not going to touch it with a 10-foot pole. I have heard whispers of certain people that have used poaching efforts, and I'm not touching their plants with a 10-foot pole. I just want to stay far away from it. So of course, every time a plant comes to me, whoa. So yeah, when I do get a plant, I try and ask like who the parents are, where they got it from. But I feel like in general, the plants that I'm receiving from other people, they are just like hybrids of plants that are already out there. I don't think the people that send me plants and that I have befriended online are pro-poaching. In fact, I know several who are very anti-poaching, and we've had like long discussions about it. And if you know of someone that I have supported or I have connections with that might be involved in something, this is not like a witch hunt. Please don't try and stir crap in the comments. Just be a decent person and come talk to me, because I don't know. I have no idea. But all I can say is that I have no desire for any plant that could have even potentially been poached. And that's the tea on that. I probably didn't bury this deep enough, but there's I'm just gonna go with it. I might stick like a rock on top to weigh it down, because I think this is just gonna plop right out. Please fit, please fit. Oh my God, that's beautiful. It's a beautiful sight. I love when that happens. Okay, so that's the answer to that. Some people are gonna have thoughts. I already know it, but it is what it is. The next question is, how have your YouTube views changed since 2020? Honestly, it's been a slow decline. It's kind of interesting because I feel like as my subscriber count goes up, relative to that number, like my views haven't really gone up. So yeah, it's getting increasingly worse, which I don't really like. Again, I've known that this wasn't going to be my full-time gig forever, and I'm honestly just appreciative for anyone who does watch. And I kind of like that it feels like more of a tight-knit little community and not so huge, because I do feel like I can be a little bit more personal on here, and I just feel more comfortable in general talking about things. This is pretty much all tree fern fiber, so I'm gonna add this to my soil mix. I had pretty rapid growth starting at the beginning. Like, I feel like I got to 10,000 followers pretty fast, and then I hit 20,000 followers. But after 20, it kind of just slowed down from there, and I've been stuck kind of in like the mid-20s for a long time. And I don't really expect the channel, honestly, to grow very much after like starting now, just because I think that my content specifically, like how I make it and whatever, is really niche. Like, it's not for everyone. And I'm not really willing to try, oh my God. I'm not really willing to kind of change the way I make content just for more views. I mean, one, I think you would see how fake it is. And that's like no shade to like any big content creators, but it's just not in my personality to like act a certain way or make content a certain way. I just kind of like what I like, and that's what feels natural for me. So yeah, I've really have not been obsessed with numbers for like the last year. I've just been making videos, trying to pay my bills, and raising a kid. This could probably be a little chunkier, but that's all right. I wish all influencers would be more honest about plant hoarding and how having hundreds of plants is normalized. And then this person was saying that they have like 200 something plants, so that's no shade, but it's just like kind of crazy how that is like the normal. I would say that there's probably never been, maybe not like a generation, but like historically in the plant hobby, I don't think there's ever been quite as large of a community with as many plants as we do. And obviously I think this explosion of growth in the plant community and normalizing the sheer number of plants we have is primarily because of social media. To me, it's normal. I think to us, this is normal. It's not like unheard of. For example, I went to a massage appointment the other day, and she was like asking what I did for a living. And of course I was like, oh, I do YouTube. And I always like dread anyone asking me that question, because they always ask like, oh, what do you do? Like, you know, like, so what do you do on YouTube? I don't know why it feels embarrassing to say that I'm a YouTuber. I don't know why. I really hate it. But at the same time, saying I'm a content creator is somehow worse. So yeah, I told her I was a YouTuber, and then like a couple minutes later, she's like, am I allowed to know what you do on YouTube? And so I told her what I did, and she was telling me how she had like a few plants, and I told her how many I had, and she was like floored. And to me, I'm just like, that's just like a normal number, you know, because I know people who have like thousands of plants, and I'm not even really surprised at that. Like, that doesn't really shock me. Yeah, but if you really think about it, it is kind of bonkers, like how we've normalized like having hundreds and hundreds of plants inside of your house is normal. And you know, that comes with how many pounds of dirt being in your house that you're breathing in, how many pests you're bringing into the house. Like, if you kind of like think about it, it's kind of gross sometimes. Like, when I have full-blown pest outbreaks, I'm like, that's actually really nasty. Like, at the time when my fungus gnat issue was at its peak, I was like, this house needs to be burned down. I can't live like this anymore. I was getting ready to just throw things out, you guys. Like, I was like, I don't even care which plant it is. I'm gonna throw it out because I can't live like this. I just can't do it. But at the same time, I'm not here to like pass any judgment. I obviously can't judge because I have a lot of plants myself, but I will say that when I see houses that are like, to me, I see a space filled with plants, like maybe like this or like my living room, and to me it doesn't like scream hoarder, but I do see many pictures online when I'm scrolling where I'm like, how do you live that way? You can't even walk anymore. I think some people are just doing way too much, and especially when you see that, I've talked about this before, like what is a collector versus what is a hoarder. And to me, it's like if I can see a house full of plants that are clearly neglected, they have not been cared for, they're just there, and then you're still bringing more stuff home, it's like, to me, that seems very hoardy. And unfortunately, I've been in a situation with someone that I had to unfriend because of that issue. And it was, trust me, it was not something that was like, oh, you're a hoarder, now I can't be friends with you. It was it was way more complicated than that, and it got really messy. And I just felt like I could not be a part of that situation anymore. I couldn't help that person, and it was really starting to weigh me down personally, and it was affecting friendships with other people. And I think that situation has like forever changed the way that I will collect plants, because I don't think it's normal to have like 300 to 500 plants in your house and be bringing plants home constantly when your other plants are just rapidly dying. To me, it's a waste of money, and it's just, I just don't think anyone should be living that way in this hobby. But yeah, I really think it's up to each individual person, honestly, because to me, I feel like 100 plants is a lot. 150 is a lot of plants. Some people say that they have like 300 and they're like, oh yeah, that's nothing. Like, I know someone who has like 700, and I'm like, no, I can't do that. Not even as like a plant YouTuber. Whoa, like a plant YouTuber, you know? I'm not gonna put myself in a situation where I'm just like watching plants die week by week just because people expect me to have a lot of plants. Just not happening. I personally feel like a plant should complement your space, and you should be able to still live in your space that you pay for without plants kind of like taking over. So yeah, I'm not here to like tell anyone that you have too many plants. I'm not here to tell anyone that you're a hoarder, but I think we all can see when it gets really fuzzy with some people. I'm sure we all have scrolled by a post, whether on Facebook or Instagram or TikTok or whatever, where it's just like, oh, that person needs to kind of figure out what the hecky is going on, because I just personally would not enjoy being in the plant hobby if I was just constantly surrounded by dead plants and stuff. But you know, everyone has their own number. Everyone has their idea of what is too much. I definitely have my idea of what's too much, but to each their own. Do you have to fake your personality to a certain extent for social media? In the beginning, yes. I wouldn't say I was being fake, but I think I just was like not sure how to act in front of a camera, because it just felt so foreign to me, and I kind of felt like shy, even though I was by myself. It didn't feel normal to talk to a camera by myself, no conversation back, just felt really weird. Oh, I need a plant. I've got 3 plants, all different genus. So I've got this Carla from Matt. This is a Carla Round GPH1 crossed with an OG. I really like the color of this one, it's beautiful. I have an Alocasia watsoniana that has been perpetually dying and then coming back to life and then dying again and coming back to life. So who knows how long that'll look like an actual plant. And then this Huperzia squarosa, which is very, very bleached, which I got from Floriculture. Same exact color. This is like poo-poo green on my nails. I think this is from the Shrek collection. Anyway, pond, soil. Okay, let's do those first. So yeah, should I reuse? Yeah, I'll probably just reuse whatever is in here. Yeah, I just didn't really know how to act in front of a camera. So I wouldn't say I was being fake. I was just like unsure of myself. Now that I'm more comfortable, I would say to a certain extent, yes, I have to be fake because I'm not gonna, for one, I cuss way more. Hello? What the? I cuss way more, normally, but for monetization purposes, I try and minimize how much I'm swearing on this channel. I am human, I'm not like this saint, but I do think that I have to filter myself more for social media, and I think a lot of people have to, even if they deny it or say that they are exactly how they are in front of a camera as they are in real life. I just don't buy it. So yeah, I do have to, I would say, be fake. Maybe not be fake, like fake to a certain extent, but like I definitely hold back a lot of my personality, I would say, for social media, just because I feel like that's appropriate. I think that's like the normal, but I do try and still be as honest as I can, to a certain extent. It's scary being online. It's super scary being online with people being doxxed, people just taking things really personally. Yeah, it's scary. And I have a family to protect, and I'm not gonna risk ruffling the wrong person's feathers. It's just not worth it to me. So yeah, I try and be honest to a certain extent, but there are certain things that I need to, I guess, like keep off social media. And I don't think anyone judges me for that. I'm pretty sure people know that that's just how it has to be sometimes. So yeah, that's that. I want tea and drama. What plant YouTubers do you not like and why? Who's caused drama, etc. I will say that my time on social media has not been completely clean. I have definitely been in my fair share of things, I would say, behind the scenes and both publicly. The public one was not my choice. I feel like I was dragged into that little public spat unknowingly. I'm not gonna say I was baited, okay? And I've talked about this before, and I'm not gonna get into it again because it's just, I don't wanna keep like, is the term like beating the horse? That's not very nice. I don't wanna just keep bringing up this situation, but truly, anytime this question is asked, it's the only situation that I can think of, because it's the only time where I've had to like, not publicly defend myself, but like do some kind of like public reply. And it had to do with another plant YouTuber or plant content creator, which I had no idea even existed until all of this drama came out. And it was one of those things where I felt like this person should have handled it differently, and I will die on that hill. I feel like it's something that could have easily just been a direct message and a very mature adult talk. It's not something that I would have like doubled and tripled down on. I could have issued an apology, even if I felt like it wasn't necessary, because that's just the kind of person I am. And yeah, unfortunately, this person did not give me the opportunity to handle it that way. And I'm not gonna, this is gonna grow out of here, but the root's already sticking out. Sticking out of the bottom, and I just repotted this. Should I put it in something bigger? I think. Yeah, maybe it can go in something a little bigger than this. So yeah, I basically got dragged into this thing online, and I just messaged that person directly. That person didn't message me back directly, so I replied publicly on the same public forum that this person called me out on, and left it at that. And I don't feel like I owe anyone an apology. I don't feel like I owe anyone an explanation. And that's that. So that's the only kind of like real drama I've been in. But like I said, I keep everything at arm's length because I don't want to be dragged into anything. But let's just say that, yeah, there are plenty of plant-specific content creators that I find very irritating and annoying, but I'm not the kind of person that's gonna like say something, because who cares? Who cares what I think? You know, I'm the type of person where it's like, if you don't like them, just scroll, block and scroll so that you don't see them on your feed anymore. I don't see the point in like trying to like tell them you don't like them, because what difference does that make to their life or to yours? To me, it's pointless. But yeah, I do think that there are people in this community who take this thing way too freaking seriously. And I think there are people who are creating content who shouldn't be, because it's clearly not good for their mental health. But for some reason, the clout or the public notoriety, whatever you want to call it, is worth it to them. And so again, I have kept those people at like 10 arms length. Like, I'm not gonna try and be your friend because I just don't jive with you, and that's that. I don't think that there's anything wrong with that. I feel like there's probably content creators out there that can't stand me, and that's fine. I don't need everyone to like me. But I guess if you're wondering if I know of any like insider plant tea or whatever, honestly, I don't. I really don't. As far as the influencers that I know, I feel like they kind of just keep to themselves and they mind their business. The ones that I find to be messy and annoying, I don't follow them, and I have blocked some of them so that I don't see them on my feed. If they're messy, I don't know. I don't know about it because I don't want to know about it. Done and done. Okay, I got this little nuggie to do. I'm hoping that it does not just completely croak and die after I repot this again, the poor thing. I'm not gonna get it into like a nice pot because it's just gonna be in my plant room. I'm just kind of trying to rehab it right now. But I wanna get it out of this perlite because now that it's not in a prop box, it is going to dry out hecka fast. And then someone asked if I compare myself to any other content creators. I don't know if that means like, do I compare myself like as a person to content creators, or like the content that I create to other content creators, or like my views or my branding. In general, I want to say no. I truly don't, like, I don't even keep up with my own analytics as it is. I'm definitely not keeping tabs on any other plant influencers. Not that I don't care, but I try to not obsess with the numbers too much because I think that'll drive you crazy. And it's really cliche, like super cliche. And you guys will probably think I'm like virtue signaling, or is that the right word? or I'm like freaking gaslighting you. I don't even know if that's the word either, but I truly feel like comparison is the thief of joy. And it's already hard enough like trying to grow your YouTube channel, but I think if you're just constantly comparing yourself to other people, it's gonna make you so miserable. So I do actively try to first off, I don't watch enough plant YouTube to really like clock who's like getting crazy amounts of views. Two, I just don't really care. I just want to pay my bills. Honestly, guys, I'm way too old for drama. I like to hear about the drama, you know, and be nosy, but I don't want to be a part of it. I don't want to be talked about. I don't care. And people say like, oh yeah, bad publicity is better than no publicity. I will take no publicity. Give me no publicity, please, because I don't want to be in drama. I'm too old. I can't handle the stress, and I just don't want to be part of it. I just don't want to be part of it. I could be wrong, but I just don't feel like plant influencers are super messy. I will say there have been ramblings in my comment section over the last few years where they'll like hint talking about someone like, oh, this influencer like makes her followers feel so stupid, or she like talks to, you know, her influencers like or she talks to her audience like we're idiots, or there's this other influencer who is just like absolutely insufferable. And like, yeah, the curious part of me like wants to know who it is, but I'm not gonna in the comments be like, drop the handle, you know. But yeah, do I want to know who some of the like messy content creators are in the space? Sure, because it's interesting and it's, I don't know, it's something to talk about. But if it's at the cost of me having to like be in these little cliques to know what's going on, yep, not happening. Oh my, they're almost home. Okay, we gotta hurry this up. What else? Do you ever feel self-conscious about showing your plants online? Heck yeah, I am. Dude, every time I find like a spider mite outbreak or like a thrips outbreak, especially, oh my gosh, like when I had mealybugs, you guys, I was like, they're gonna think I'm disgusting. But yeah, I do get self-conscious because it's like, I'm a plant content creator, and you would think as a plant content creator that I should be showing plants that are like humongous and lush and beautiful. But it's like, I just feel like I'm constantly like, oh, look at this sad thing, it just died. Like I'm always like on the struggle, you know? But that's just what we do here. I don't know what I'm doing. But I'm not self-conscious enough to the point where I feel like I have to like fake it and pretend like everything's fine. I would much rather just be honest with you guys because it's way easier. I have all these anthurium that I need to repot, but I want to do like a good mix. I feel like it's just too many anthurium. Oh, I do have this. Maybe this is our last thing that we do. So I've got this bowl and I wanted to make a little ping thing for in here. I don't know, in here or my living room. I don't know where I would put it, but I have this little bowl that's like this glass fruit bowl, and then I have a lava rock, and I thought that I could do like lava and then this, and then grow a ping on it, and then just like have like lots of water. Ideally, I would love to grow moss on top of the lava rock, but it's not gonna be in a contained thing, so it's not ever gonna regrow, it's not gonna regenerate. So I'm gonna take what I can get. I'm gonna grab my lava rock. I don't know if I should be soaking this, if I should, no, it's fine, because I'm gonna fill it with water. I probably should have soaked this beforehand. That's okay. And then I have this little ping from my friend Sydney. I would have, I think, preferred to use, I think they're like those Mexican pings that look like flowers, but I don't have any. I would like to buy one, but I don't have one at the moment, but I can always like change it out. And I also don't know what I'm doing. Like, I don't know if you're supposed to like use like fishing wire or something to like have it hold on to the rock. but I feel like it's coarse enough or like rough enough that it'll, like the roots will just hold on to it naturally. So that's what I'm gonna try and do. I'm just gonna plop it on top and see what happens. This could be a complete disaster, but you never know until you try. And if I kill this ping, I am so sorry, Sydney. I'm the worst. Okay, I'm just gonna empty this into here. Do you ever get tired of having this many plants and having to constantly make content about it? I will say that there have been plenty of times where, especially when I was posting twice a week, where I was like, what the frick am I doing this week? Like, I have no idea, like, for one, what people even want to see. I have no idea what I can even talk about that isn't like redundant. I feel like I just like run out of things to do, and oh, there's a little tiny baby growing. Yeah, I feel like I run out of things to do and say, and you know, there's only so many chores. People don't want to see like a repot and chat every week. At least I don't think they want to. So yeah, there are times where I just feel kind of uninspired. Honestly, sometimes uninspired by my plants. There are periods where I'm not really excited about certain or anything in particular. There are times where I don't want to freaking repot anything. I don't want to deal with the cleanup. I don't want to deal with any of that. Sometimes I just skip uploading for those weeks because I can't fake it. I really can't. I tried to do it once, and guys, it was the boringest video of your life. It was so boring that, oh, I just scrapped all the footage. I was recording for like almost 2 hours. I did like this whole repot, whatever. I was like, I can't post this. Like, this is an absolute snooze fest. But one thing I will say is that plant content creating I don't think it's changed my love for plants at all. Like, I don't feel like it's like burnt me out. I feel like my love for the hobby is just too deep to ever feel like anything can get in the way of that. But there are times where I am super overwhelmed and I just don't wanna do care. I don't want to talk about my plants. I don't want to film. I don't want to show anything. I'm gonna just create like a little hole here, and I'm gonna just try and maybe not bury it. Should I do it like this or like this? I feel like I could plop it on here easier like this way, but I like the way this looks a little bit more. So I'm gonna just do that because I want this lava rock to be submerged in some of this water so that it stays wet. And so, like, if you watched my other video where I'm, you know, thinking about going into like a different career, sorry, this is super loud. This red lava rock is so pretty. Yeah, if you watched that video, I am kind of excited to be doing something that isn't like plant related, because I feel like doing less videos in general, I'll be more excited to film because I wouldn't have seen you for a while and I'll have just more things to show. Because when you're filming on a weekly basis, twice a week, it's like you're seeing everything, you know? It's like, what else can I offer you that you haven't seen? And how much can I really like repot and talk in front of the camera? So yeah, I am excited to make a little bit of a career change, and I think it's gonna be good for me. And I'm excited. I just need to figure out how to get started. That's always the hardest part, starting a business, I feel, is the start. So I'm gonna go close. This is the root system for this guy. Already has like a really good root system. Oh, I just broke that leaf. And I don't know if I should be, I feel like you're supposed to like cover it. It just feels a little weird to just plop it on there. And then maybe this one can go down here. And then there's literally this tiny little one here, which has no roots right now. I can probably just tuck that in, like in here somewhere, and just keep it like hydrated. This doesn't seem right. It just seems like weird to literally just plop it on with like the roots exposed. Maybe I need to like keep it in a dome for a while to kind of get it set in the rock. I'm gonna just use some of these lava rocks to kind of hide the roots. I crushed it. Yeah, I think that's probably the best plan is keep it under, well, I'm gonna put it in my exo, but I don't really have anything big enough to like, you know, keep it covered while everything roots onto there, but I'm gonna have to keep it like pretty damp. But I think it's really cute. Look how cute it is. I think if I put different kinds of pings too, like eventually, because like I can just grow them like along the sides and stuff and just have a little ping garden. Someone commented on a different video and was like, I give it 3 months before you're like, before you're over all of your carnivorous plants and they all die or you throw them away or something. But I feel like I'm just becoming more obsessed with them because they're actually like working and they're doing something for me. I love seeing my pings covered in fungus gnats. All right, this is where we've landed. I am going to be filling this whole thing, probably fill it up to like here with water. And I need to figure out a way to keep, I really wish I had like a cloche that could fit over here, because that would be so nice to just have in my living room. Maybe while I'm thrifting, I can see if I can find anything, but at the moment, I do not have anything that will fit nicely over here. At least I don't think so. Hold on. That is the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life. Oh my gosh. This is her in all her glory. Anyway, guys, my husband just got home. I just got the notification that he's here. Ugh. So it's been real, but I gotta go. If you enjoyed this talk, thank you for being here. If you thought it was stupid, thank you for being here. I am probably gonna take a week off of filming. I'm gonna slowly start transitioning to 1 video a week or 1 video every other week. Probably by the end of July. I think that's my goal. End of July, be only doing like 2 videos a month. So hopefully the videos that I do upload, you guys still come and hang and see what's going on over here, because the plants are definitely not going anywhere. I'm just life pivot. And thank you to everyone who's been super supportive and leaving really like nice comments and supportive comments and encouraging comments. Super, super appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up if you liked it, and I will see you in the next one.